Manchester United. Little knock in the first half. Now there is Rooney! Oh, that is one of the strikes of the season!
Volleying. A thing of beauty when it comes off.
Second ball, Townsend! That is an unbelievable strike! Oh!
Sometimes a wish for the ground to swallow you up, at times painful, seemingly impossible task when it doesn't.
And if you're just starting out, well then odds are volleys are not in your locker just yet.
I got it! So close.
But they are super important to work on.
From half bounces to self sets to absolute wonder strikes. It's all about understanding how to work with the ball, utilising the spin, angle of approach.
Because direction of approach, it really does matter.
And reading the flight to execute clean strikes out of the air and on goal.
But before we get started, a quick question. What do all of these volleys have in common?
Dorigo towards Wallace, back here, and there's the strike! Wonderful goal! Wonderful Yeboah! He doesn't even look up.
Nicely run away from Whelan. And they're looking here for Gareth Bale! Oh, what a strike! Gareth Bale, what an absolute beauty!
Whipped in by Bale, touch clear. As far as Danny Ross. Oh!
That one really pains me.
Oh, what a shot! That's extraordinary! The young Yorkshireman. White Hart Lane is absolutely rocking!
Now aside from scoring, let me know if you can see a pattern.
Because actually it's not just these volleys, but these ones too, where they have the same situation kind of going on. And to make this a little easier, I'll show you an exception to the rule and why you hardly ever see this happen in a game situation.
Sinclair's cross over Cunningham. Di Canio! Oh, I do not believe that!
What a magnificent goal by the Italian. Di Canio is a specialist.
Alright, we'll get back to that in just a sec. But first up, the easiest thing and perhaps the first thing to address is your positioning, like your body positioning.
Now, we talk about this a bunch in the 7-day training program, which I'll link below. Body position is kind of everything in football.
Organising your body and moving your feet to get them in an organised position to manipulate the ball is really the thing that sets bad players from accomplished ones.
So ensuring you're volleying the ball from a balanced and controlled position is really essential.
All of these volleys also have this in common, but that's not the answer I'm looking for. So body position, it starts with being able to read the flight and anticipating where it's going to land. It's this that allows you the chance to get your body into a good striking position.
You never want to be fighting a volley because it never ends well.
Once you've nailed the flight, timing your arrival to connect with the ball from said balanced position, somewhere between your calf and knee high is the ticket. Too low and you lose power and risk hurting your tootsies. Too high and you lose power but also control.
Now the next issue is that the focus is too much on where the ball is going, right there, and less so on where it's coming from.
And this is a two-way factor situation. The first is where the eyes are looking. The best volleyers watch the ball all the way onto their boot. Now in your early volleying stages, it can be very tempting to look up a split second too early. And it's that split second that makes all the difference to a missed contact. It's a tough skill, so you need all of your attention on the ball. Don't be tempted. But secondly, where it's coming from is the key in giving yourself the best chance. All of the volleys, the common element before contact was made is that the ball was coming across the body. And that's not by chance. It's because it's easier to volley the ball that's coming across your body than from the outside. Now this is for a couple of reasons, but the main one is that across your body means that it's crossed your center line, allowing you to track the ball onto your foot. From the outside or over your shoulder, it's closest to your eyes or center at the point of contact, which makes it 100 times more difficult.
And I mean, that's what makes Di Canio strike so good.
But for those of us that are not as good as Paolo Di Canio, what can we do?
Now, most good volleyers to combat this will actually turn and face the direction of the ball in which it's coming from to get it into that center point, increasing their chances of that clean connection as they come through. It tends to look more like a side volley though.
Which is definitely not a bad thing. Next up is the hips, planting leg and extension. So with a normal volley, a good practice is to have your hips facing forwards. Think of it like headlights to a car. Shine them at the target. That's going to allow you to crunch your torso as you connect, keeping your head down. Try not to lean back, because leaning back results in... Now the planting leg, like I've mentioned before with other strikes, should be like the headlights, pointing towards where you want the ball to go. Now with experience you can play around with this, but it's a good rule to follow when you're first learning. Now for the extension, if the hips are square, this allows you to fully extend your foot, providing a huge landing pad for the ball to connect with. As it connects with the ball, it's really important to drive through the heart of the ball, swinging it directly towards the target. This is the follow through, and deviation of this swing, left or right, will put side spin on the ball. So be aware, if it's curling too much, either embrace it and make adjustments for that curve, or adjust your leg so that it comes right through the ball in a nice straight line.
And now the last thing that players tend to get wrong with volleys is like everything else in football.
Volleying is a skill that takes much practice and finesse, and it needs constant upkeep, even if it's a part of your locker already. So heading to the park and working on kick-ups or using a wall for volleys and control to test your control with different spins and approaches is always a good idea to improve your mastery over the ball. And if you want to make volleying a strength, then you're going to have to put in the work to make it stick.
That was nice. And if not, just understanding how to position your body to control this thing, it's going to benefit your game regardless. So you should probably do it anyways.
From there you can experiment with things like side volleys, half volleys, back heel volleys, all of which are developing your fundamentals of the game.
And that's what it's all about. It's really important to have fun with it, be patient with yourself, and maybe look to record yourself so you can see some of the adjustments that you might need to make. Otherwise, I'll see you over there if you're more into assisting these types of volleys rather than scoring them yourself. Check it out, it's a good video. Try not to lean back because leaning back results in... Try not to lean back because